Today is the fifth combined convocation ceremony for the award of first degrees, higher degrees, honorary degrees, postgraduate diplomas, and presentation of prizes in honor of over 30,000 graduates. We told you earlier that at the first convocation ceremony, which held on the 18th February 2006, the university graduated only 100 students from 3 faculties. Today, the graduates have graduated successfully from 8 different faculties. This is the beautiful city of Kefi, which enjoys some sort of demographic exchange with the FCT due to its proximity. There you have the procession of the graduates, combination of first degree awardees, higher degrees, diplomas, and special guests to be awarded prizes. Thank you for staying tuned to NTA.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this program has already kick-started. The academic procession is ongoing. graduates of this university are marching to their various places of sitting. As I said earlier, please, if you are not part of the security team here or the press crew, please kindly get a place where you sit comfortably. As I mentioned earlier as well, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, is already in this arena. He is here by most of the members of the executive team of this government. The Secretary of the State Government is here with us. I also understand that the ambassador representing Nasarawa State is also here. Our royal fathers are already seated. Very important guests that we invited are here as well. The spokesman of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Femi Adesina is here as well. I will inform you of other dignitaries as they come into the arena.
People have converged on Kefi to felicitate with the graduates, the university community, and indeed the entire people of Nasarawa State on this day to mark the 5th combined convocation ceremony of the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th graduates of this university.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
I told you earlier that this location used to be College of Arts and Science Kefi prior to 2002, before the university was established. At inception, the university admitted qualified students into 3 faculties and had its first convocation in 2006, at which it graduated only 100 students. Today, the university currently runs on 8 faculties, and at this 5th combined convocation ceremony, the school is graduating over 30,000 students in different fields of studies. They are to be conferred with honorary degrees, awarded first degrees, higher degrees, postgraduate diplomas, and prizes presented to a few special guests. This is the network service of the NTA, reaching you live from Kefi, Nasarawa State. Thank you for staying tuned. Proceedings of the 5th combined graduation ceremony of this university as it unfolds. We are reaching you live.
Great University, our father and elder statesman, Professor Adamu Baiki. Please, let's give a round of applause to our father, the first Vice-Chancellor of this great university. And we have in our midst, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Justice Suleiman Diko, the Chief Judge Nasarawa State. Sir, you're most welcome. It is also my pleasure to recognize, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the presence of the Secretary to the Government of Nasarawa State, Barrister Muhammad Abdullahi. Today, indeed, is the day that the Lord has made, and we will surely rejoice and be glad in it. Nasarawa State University is a state-owned university established to cater for the educational need of the people of Nasarawa State, but indeed the people of Nigeria. Because if you want to know, Nasarawa State is a mini Nigeria. And for those that have come from other parts of the country, to study in Nasarawa State University, you will testify to the fact that this is one of the most peaceful universities in Nigeria. I'd like to, at this point, recognize the presence of traditional rulers, to recognize the presence of my senior, my mentor, all the way from the presidency, the SA on Media, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Femi Adeshina is here. You're most welcome, and we're glad to have you in our midst. While we wait for the arrival of the #1 citizen of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, I'd like to appeal that if we don't have anything doing in the central field, let's respectfully get a place and sit down. We'll recognize the list of guests as we get them. You're most welcome. We are appealing to our aides, the aides of our principals, to please take your principal to their seats and step back. Aides and protocol officers from the university, you're just to take our guests and our principal to their seats and step back. Thank you very much. We have IMC Chairman from Nasarawa State. All of you here are respectfully recognized. Members of the State Executive and Security Councils from Nasarawa State and other states, you're respectfully recognized. We have our father, Sarkin Fulani Nasarawa, Senator Walid Jibril. Sir, you're most welcome. And at this point, we have, I think you do the next announcement. Appealing to aides to please take your principal to their seats and step aside. Aides, take your principal to their seats and step aside. PG graduates coming in, beautifully dressed, Masters, PhD. We say congratulations. I know you've been waiting for this day for a long time, and to the glory of God, it is here today. What else will we say? Please, if you take your principal to their seat, please step aside. Thank you.
See that cameraman, I've been telling him to leave that place. He's telling that man. I think they don't have green now.
Please check your pockets for your keys. I have a lost but found key here. Check your pockets for your keys. I have a lost but found keys here, please. Appealing to aides, take your principals up and step back. The cameramen want to be busy, they can't get clear shots, and certainly your buses will need fresh air too. Thank you.
I said you bring your daughter to
fighting every day in the
Before I get the names of visiting vice-chancellors from other universities, I'd like to respectfully welcome all visiting vice-chancellors, all registers of institutions of higher learning and government agencies. You're welcome. I'm still waiting for the long list of our very esteemed guests for individual recognitions. But before we get the names, I'd like to respectfully say to all of you, welcome one, welcome all. The DG NYSC is ably represented here by the Director NYSC Nasarawa State, Hajia Zainab. Registrar Jam is here, ably represented by Musa M. Aliyu, Director Administration. Sir, you most welcome. We're still expecting names of our very esteemed guests for individual recognition. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Plateau State, just got here. Your Excellency, sir, you're most welcome. Professor Tony Jordan, you're welcome to Nasarawa State University. We are still appealing to aides. Please allow our cameramen to walk. If you take your principal to their seat, step aside. Thank you. Your hand is still shaking. It's not be fine now.
There's still the compiler.
It's not that you need cable. NGL man will give you cable, but they don't know what kind of cable you want.
Go on with this. Let me still compile it so that we just get
Federal Capital Territory, that is College of Education, Zuba, all the way from the FCT. The Provost, College of Education, Zuba, Dr. Muhammad Gambo Hamza is here. Sir, you're most welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have Professor Shehu Abdulrahman, former Vice-Chancellor of Federal University, Gashua, Professor Gaji Badawi, Federal University, Jigawa, Professor Yakubu A. Oshefu, Vice-Chancellor of Federal University, Ukari Korefa University, Taraba State, Professor Oliver J.W. Jagusat MNI, Dean, Faculty of Education and Director, Academic Planning, representing the Vice-Chancellor, Sokoto State University. We also have here Professor Afolayan Abiodun, representing the Vice-Chancellor, University of Ilorin, Professor Steve Adeshina, DVC, representing the Vice-Chancellor, Nile University of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Ribadu, Vice-Chancellor, Sulalamido University, Kapong Hausa, Jigawa State. Professor Vincent Ado Tenebe, Vice-Chancellor, Taraba State University, Jalingo, Professor G.O. Idemuda, representing Vice-Chancellor, Federal University, Ukari, Dr. Engineer Umar Saeed Dubamali, Director, Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, Jos Plateau State, Dr. Oyelade OJ, representing Vice-Chancellor, Conferment University, Ota, Ogun State, Professor Buba Michelia, representing Vice-Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, Engineer Dr. Ali Muhammad, Director, Degree Program, Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, representing Rector, Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, and Professor A.H. Bichi, Vice-Chancellor, Federal University, Dutsamba, Katsina State. Sirs, you're most welcome to the Citadel of Learning. Welcome to Nasarawa State University Convocation Square here in Kefi. Welcome to Nasarawa State, the home of hospitality and solid minerals. The backbone of the university, people who decide here in the university, ladies and gentlemen, the University Senate in procession.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State and that of Plateau State, other important dignitaries here present, I wish to introduce to this very august occasion our important dignitaries who are going to be giving honorary doctorate honors today. We have the pioneer Vice-Chancellor of the Nasarawa State University, Professor Adamu Beki, as one of the recipients. Please, a round of applause for him. We also have Venerable Sachal Minor. He is going to be one of our recipients. Please, another applause for him. We also have a veteran professor of virology, Professor Tam David West. These three distinguished Nigerians will be given honorary awards from the Nasarawa State University today.
The former Comptroller General of Immigration, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Martins Abeshi. Sir, you're welcome. I'd like to recognize the presence of the Director of State, Nasarawa State, Commissioner of Police, Nasarawa State, and the Senior Special Assistant on Special Duties, Honorable Ali Al-Makura. You're most welcome. I'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. Barclays F. Ayakoroma, PhD, of the National Institute for Cultural Orientation. You're most welcome, sir. Deans in procession, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost getting there.
These are the deans of the various faculties we have in the Nasarawa State University. We have the Dean Faculty of Administration, the Dean Faculty of Arts, Dean Faculty of Law, Education, Natural Applied Science, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, and the Dean Students Affairs, and that of the Environmental Sciences. We have our Dean, the Dean School of Postgraduate Studies, all here present at this occasion. Please, a round of applause for our deans who are major players in this university.
Coming in next after our deans, visiting vice-chancellors from sister universities that are here to celebrate on this great day with Nasarawa State University. Visiting vice-chancellors.
We have paid for this, and I'm getting them all here.
Remind our guests that the seats here are tagged. The seats here are tagged. We have seats for parents, seats for students, seats for convocating students, both undergraduates and postgraduates. Please, let's respect that order. And I'm still reminding our aides to please step aside as soon as you drop your principal on their seats. reminder once again that our seats are tagged. Please check if you're not sitting at the proper seat. Please make yourself comfortable at the appropriate seat. We wouldn't want anybody to feel embarrassed. Thank you. Like I said, visiting vice-chancellors from other sister universities that are here to felicitate with Nasarawa State University on this great day of combined convocations. University Council, principal officers, led by
our principal officers are marching into the arena. The university bossa. The university librarian, Dr. Aliu Al-Kad. We also have our Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Administration, Professor Grace Pennell. Our Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academics, Professor Musa Inua Fodio. The Registrar of the University, Malam Balai Ahmed, also walked into the arena. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Muhammad Akaru Menoma, walking in gallantly to the arena. You are welcome, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. With him is our Pro-Chancellor, Bishop of the Sokoto Diocese, Most Reverend Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka. The new Chancellor of the Nasarawa State University, Dr.
the man that gave birth to Nasarawa State University, His Excellency Senator Dr. Abdullahi Adamu. And coming up closely is the #1 citizen of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the momentum is high, and this is a clear sign that we are ready to start.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for this very august occasion, the 5th combined convocation of the Nasarawa State University, KP. I will request graduates, parents, and our invited guests to please rise. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I request that we all rise. Our traditional singers, we thank you very much. You can please suspend that for now. We are going to take the national anthem and the Nasarawa State University's anthem immediately. Wait.
Just a moment.
Keep standing, please. Keep standing.
Thank you.
His Excellency is still marching to his seats. Just keep standing, please. Thank you for standing.
Kepi, Nasarawa University.
Thank you. Please remain standing for a while. The national anthem, please. the school anthem. You can please sit down. Before I invite the registrar to continue with proceedings, quickly let me introduce to you the Deputy Governor of Ogun State who came to represent the governor
signifying the official commencement of proceedings at the 5th Combined Convocation Ceremony of Nasarawa State University, KEFI, holding this day, brought to you live on the network service of the NTA. Prior to this time, this location was occupied by the College of Arts and Sciences. That was before 2002. In February of that same year, this university was established and it admitted qualified students in 3 faculties: Faculty of Arts and Sciences, that of Education, and Natural and Applied Sciences. At its first convocation in 2006, the university graduated only 100 students. Today, at the combined 5th convocation ceremony, over 30,000 graduates are being honored with certificates, awards of degrees, and prizes for special guests, especially the first Vice-Chancellor, who has been recognized and applauded for laying a progressive foundation upon which the university has continued to flourish till this day. Thank you for staying tuned. The proceedings here continue live on the network service of the NTA. Stay with us.
Members of the Federal and State Executive Council here present, Your Excellency Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu, Distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Member of the National and State House of Assembly, Secretary to Nasarawa State Government, former Vice-Chancellors here present, Chairman Interim Management Committee here present, Chairman, Nasarawa State Traditional Council, their Royal Highnesses, Emirs and Chiefs, the Chancellor, His Royal Highness Dr. Shehu Chindua Musa III, Emir of Kafi, Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Most Reverend Matthew Hassan Kuka, the Vice-Chancellor, Muhammad Akaro Mainoma, Principal Officers of the University, visiting Pro-Chancellors, Vice-Chancellors, Provosts and Rectors, our distinguished recipients to the University Honorary degree, visiting registrars, members of the University Senate, our distinguished professors and graduates, parents and guardians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to commence proceeding for the 5th Combined Convocation of Nasarawa State University, Kafi, for the award of first degrees, higher degrees, and honorary doctorate degrees. Excellency, sir. The honorable visitor, your excellencies, my lords, your royal highnesses, members of council and senate, honorary graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I call upon the Chancellor, Alhaji Dr. Shehu Chindua Musa III, Emir of Kafi, to declare the occasion open for the award of degrees, higher degrees, and postgraduate degrees. The Chancellor, sir.
By the authority vested in me as the Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, Kefi, I declare the occasion for the award of postgraduate degree and honorary degrees open.
Excellency, sir, I have the honor and privilege to call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Muhammad Akaro Mainoma, to present the visitor. The Vice-Chancellor, sir.
Your Excellencies, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State and those represented, Deputy Governors here present, the Chancellor of the University, Pro-Chancellor, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the visitor of Nasarawa State University, Kefi, His Excellency Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, the Governor of Nasarawa State.
Your Excellency, sir, the Vice-Chancellor, sir, Council and Senate of Nasarawa State University, Kafi, resolved that honorary doctorate degree of laws, LLD honoris causa, be conferred on His Royal Highness, Alhaji Dr. Shehu Chindua Musa III, Emir of Kafi. I now call upon the orator to present the Chancellor. The orator, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to present to you His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Shehu Chindo Yamusa III, the Emir of Kefi and the Chancellor, Nasarawa State University. You are all aware that yesterday he was formally installed as the substantive Chancellor of Nasarawa State University by the visitor, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Alhaji Tanko Al-Makura. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for want of time, I would give a brief summary of the life story of Alhaji Dr. Shehu Chindo Yamusa III. The Chancellor of Nasarawa State University was born in 1966, and he started his primary school education at the Baptist Transferred Primary School, Kefi. Thereafter, he proceeded for higher degrees at the Usmanu Danfodio University, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in law. He pursued higher education and eventually was awarded the a PhD in law at a university in Malaysia. When he came back, he had a stint of employment with the UNICEF, where he coordinated very many health intervention programs related to childhood development and intervention in diseases. Thereafter, he was looked for by ExxonMobil in Port Harcourt and made a consultant, where he served until 1984. For love of his state, Nasarawa State, he returned to the state civil service and served in various capacities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Chancellor of the university did not have any sense of fulfillment serving in the civil service. And therefore, he commenced his visiting teaching experience here at Nasarawa State University Faculty of Law in 2005. As he went on, it became obvious that he had found the right place. And so he fully transferred his services to Nasarawa State University, where he served and rose to the rank of senior lecturer until he was invited to inherit the stool of his father, the late amiable Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Chindo Yamusa II. The Chancellor of Nasarawa State University is known to be a very level-headed person. He is known to be an amiable person. He is known to be a lover of peace, and indeed, he is a leader of men. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it was therefore not a big surprise to us, those in the university community, when with almost unanimous vote, the Kefi Traditional Council elected and eventually endorsed him, eventually also got the approval of His Excellency Alhaji Tanko Al-Makura to install him, first-class emir, in the tradition of his forebears of the Kefi Emirate Council. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to present to you His Royal Highness, Alhaji Dr. Chindo Yamusa III, the Emir of Kefi, the Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, an unassuming man, but very gladly the lover of peace and of men. Thank you very much.
Excellency, I have the honor and privilege to call upon the Chancellor to address the convocation. The Chancellor, sir.
Excellency, Executive Governor of Nasarawa State and the visitor of this university, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, members of the National Assembly here present, members of the Federal Executive Council here present, the Right Honorable Speaker in absentia, CJ Nasarawa State Principal Officers, members of the State House Assembly, Secretary to the State Government, Head of Service, Chairman of all Progressive Congress Chancellors present, Your Royal Highness, the Emir of Lafia, Chairman, Nasarawa State Council of Chiefs, Executive Chairmans, Pro-Chancellor, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, all other Executive Secretaries, Registrars, Vice-Chancellors, particularly that of my university, Nasarawa State University, Kefi, Chairman of Interims, Committee of Local Government, Head of Tertiary Institutions, Your Royal Highnesses, Emirs and Chiefs, distinguished honorary doctorate degrees awardees, prominent sons and daughters, staff students of Nasarawa State University, my dear graduates, gentlemen of the press. My Pro-Chancellor, Chairman of the Council. It looked like we have a lot of things to do in this university. If my CV will disappear before I'm awarded PhD degree. I welcome you all to this important gathering, particularly the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, visitor of this university, Alhaji Umar Tanko Al-Makura, Nasarawa State University was established in 2001, and it took off fully in February 2002, with an enrollment figure of 470 students. It was established by the administration of the first Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu, CON, now a Senator of the Federal Republic. Distinguished Senator, you are welcome. The university started with 3 faculties, then namely education, art, and social science, and natural and applied sciences. Today, the university can boast of students, population of over 19,000 students, and 8 faculties. These include administration, agriculture, science, arts, education, environmental sciences, law, natural and applied sciences, and social sciences. This is an indication of a phenomenal growth. In its 15 years journey, the university had had 4 vice-chancellors, 3 visitors, 2 pro-chancellors, 2 chancellors, my late father, Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Chindoya Musa II, may his soul rest in perfect peace, and myself. Similarly, we had had 3 registrars and 2 acting registrars. The same goes for the bursar and the university librarian. So if we beam our searchlight on the faculties, departments, units, and centers, I am sure the story may not be different. My dear people, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that all those developments clearly point to the fact that the university is growing every day in leaps and bounds. Kudos to the council, the university management, staff members, and our dear students, as well as all those who had contributed in one way or the other to this very remarkable growth. Well done for a job. May I, at this point, welcome to this important university event the Pro-Chancellor and the Chairman of the Council, my dear brother Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, the Vice-Chancellor Muhammad Akarome Noma, the Registrar Bala Ahmad II, the Bossa, Mr. Michael Waki, the University Librarian, Dr. Aliyu Abdul Qadri, staff and students of this great institution, thank you for your presence. To the distinguished honoraries, to be decorated shortly for their contribution to humanity and the society, Venerable Salkam Maina, Doctor of Laws, Professor Adamu David Beiki, Doctor of Letters, and Professor Tam David West, Doctor of Science. Kindly accept my heartfelt congratulations on your well-deserved awards. I must not forget to mention the graduates who are arrayed in their beautifully made gowns this morning, anxiously waiting for these crowns that include PhDs in different specializations, MAs, MAd, MSc, and PGD in diverse fields, bachelor degrees and diplomas in different disciplines. Please accept my very warm congratulations. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is the earnest prayers of KEFI Emirate Council that the peace we enjoyed in KEFI and in environs thus far will continue to serve as an impetus to the university in its bid to fulfill its mandate, which to my mind is the production of the needed senior cadre, manpower to man every sector of the economy in the state, the country, and beyond. At this juncture, I wish to call upon all present to relax, listen, and participate actively in the activities arranged at this convocation ceremony for your comfort, education, enlightenment, and entertainment. Lastly, I wish to thank the Honorable Minister of Interior, retired Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, PhD, who served as the convocation lecturer and spoke on the topic, education and national security. I make bold to say that any community that does not enjoy peace and security cannot experience development. While thanking the Nasarawa State Government and our amiable governor, His Excellency Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, for appointing me the Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, KEFI, I also thank the university management for expressing its allegiance to me. I promise to work closely with the university to ensure that together we maintain the memento of the good work already achieved. Lest I forget, let me seize this opportunity to congratulate my dear wife, for being among the graduates. Thank you for attention.
Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege to call upon the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council to address the convocation. The Pro-Chancellor, sir.
I think I'm, first of all, very lucky. I don't have a wife to congratulate who is graduating today, but I want to congratulate in advance the wife of the Emir, as well as other wonderful women, young men, men who are stepping into the future. Your Excellency, the visitor of the university, Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, the governor of Nasarawa State, visiting governors and their representatives, Speaker of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, Chief Judge of Nasarawa State, members of the National Assembly, members of the State Assembly, members of the Federal Executive Council, members of Nasarawa State Executive Council, Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, NUC Secretary, let me say, as we always say in Nigeria, and I'm sure that you can see from the size of the Chancellor and my own size, that it's convenient for me to say I want to stand on existing protocols as adopted both by the Chancellor and the Registrar. I wish on behalf of Council to welcome all of you to this very special occasion, which is the 5th combined graduation ceremony of Nasarawa State University, KEFI. As chairman of the University Council, this is my first attendance at the University Convocation, and I'm indeed delighted to be associated with this great citadel of learning. First, I wish once again to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, for appointing me Chairman of Council. And let me slightly depart from my speech and say that I had actually met His Excellency briefly only once or twice, and we shook hands once, but never really exchanged much pleasantries. So when he said he was appealing to me to be chairman of council, I was rather taken aback because he was perhaps the governor that I knew the least. And I remember him saying, after I had accepted the job, that he had already put General Muhammadu Buhari, who was not yet president at that time, that he had put him on notice that if he pleaded with me to be chairman of council and I resisted, he would ask him to please appeal on his behalf. Well, I think it would have been wonderful if I had allowed him and resisted, because if General Buhari had tried to persuade me now that he is president, I could very proudly have said, were it not for the president, I will not be chairman of council. I again heard the Chancellor say that his CV was missing. I'm sure you all know that there is nothing anybody can do with the CV of a traditional ruler. So if you know where the CV is, please kindly return it. But I'll tell you something, as a priest was preparing young children for their first Holy Communion. And because the children were young, they were encouraged to confess, to go to confession, but then there was the fear that the children might forget the sins they were going to confess by the time they got to the priest. And so they were instructed on what to do and asked to write down their sins so they could tell the priest, read out their sins as they are talking to the priest. The priest was listening to all their confessions, and then this little girl came, she knelt down, she said, Father, please give me your blessing. I am sorry somebody stole my sins, so I have nothing to confess. The Chancellor, I'm sure your CV will be found because nobody is desperately looking for your job. Now, Nasarawa State University, as you know, has grown from a small size of buildings on the hills of Kefi to become today one of the most sought-after institutions in Nigeria and abroad. Over the years, past managements and councils have worked relentlessly to ensure that Nasarawa State University realizes its dreams of becoming the center of excellence and a world-class university. And these sentiments are very well captured in the university anthem. The council, since its inauguration, has keyed into some of the lofty objectives captured in the vision and the mission of the university. And we continue to work tirelessly with the university management, staff, and students to ensure that best practices, as well as global excellence, is achieved in the running of university affairs. We have tried to ensure a harmonious working relationship with the management between the university itself and its various staff and their unions on the campus. And I'm really very happy with the quality of leadership, but also the amount of harmony that exists between the management, staff, students, and the various unions of university, despite the challenges. As it stands, Council is poised and determined to harness the vast human, material, and physical resources available at the university's disposal to use for maximum and optimal results. As a council, we have committed ourselves to regular statutory meetings, and we have had quite a lot of emergency meetings to resolve some of the nagging problems. Thus far, staff and students' welfare constitutes and continue to constitute a major component of our set goals, because we believe that without a comfortable working environment, it will not be possible for students to study, and it will not be possible for teachers to teach. As today, Nasarawa State University, and we are proud to say that despite the other challenges that still persist, that Nasarawa State University is one of the few universities that has paid the earned allowances to its staff members. Although there are still challenges, but staff appraisal and promotion is timely, regular, and consistent. And recently, we had a course to review some of the essential university documents, which to us appeared somewhat dated, namely the guidelines for appointment and promotion of staff in the university and the Nasarawa State University law, and we have directed the same to be put into use as soon as possible. For instance, the reviewed appointment and promotions guidelines will become effective in 2018 to allow for some necessary adjustments on the part of staff members concerned. Similarly, the reviewed version of the university law is already before the Nasarawa State House of Assembly for consideration. We appeal to the Speaker and members of the Assembly to act expeditiously on this law. In addition, Council has also directed implementation of the recommendations of the 2013 Visitation Panel's report, which is in keeping with the visitors' view of the white paper. We also want to acknowledge the foresight of His Excellency the Governor, who approached the National Universities Commission to undertake a forensic analysis of the problems, the challenges of the university, in order to position this university to be able to attain greater heights. I want to place on record our extreme gratitude and appreciation to the Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, my friend, my brother, Professor Rashid, who acted with dispatch, accepted members of the council in the NUC offices. Not only did he listen to us, but he took this unprecedented step because of his concern for the university. We are prayerfully hoping the report is ready, that very soon it will be submitted to the university, to the visitor, which will help to position our university to be able to attain greater heights. Your Excellency, I therefore appeal to you that when this report comes, May it not suffer the problems of other reports that occasionally tend to get trapped in the bureaucracy. We want to appeal that your action with dispatch on this report will very quickly help us to put some of the difficulties and challenges behind us. On behalf of Council, the university management, staff and students of Nasarawa State University, may I once again, Your Excellency, say how eternally grateful we are. There is a nagging but surmountable problem plaguing the Lafia campus of the university, and I'm happy that the campus is in Lafia, not in Kefi, which means it is next door to the governor, and I'm also happy that His Excellency himself has other affiliations with the community in question. We appeal for the quick resolution of the problems that are still outstanding in order for confidence to be restored and for the university to very quickly again implement some of the plans it has for that campus. Let me say how eternally grateful we are, and I'm very pleased that we have among us today a very famous, very reputable Professor Adamu David Baiki, who very humbly has decided to come and accept an honorary doctorate degree from this university, a degree that he does not really require and doesn't need. When I read that Professor Adamu Baiki had accepted to become the Vice-Chancellor of the University of the State University in Nasarawa, I marveled at how His Excellency, the governor then, was able to persuade this notable scholar to take this responsibility. What we are building on is a foundation that was laid by him, and I'm really, as I said, on behalf of Council, deeply appreciative of his presence. He and Venerable Selkan Minor, one of the members of Council, really broke ranks with us during procession to acknowledge that Selkan Minor was the one who had given him a job when he graduated from university, and I'm talking of our member, well, I won't call his name. Professor Tam David West, well, a man who went to prison for drinking coffee. At that time, a man who went to prison for receiving the gift of a wristwatch. I'm carrying a wristwatch in my hand. It was given to me as a gift. At that time, there were no whistleblowers. But Professor Tam David West goes down in history and on record as one of the most illustrious sons of Nigeria. Again, at his age, as the primary and leading professor of virology, this is not a doctorate, an honorary degree that he requires. Professor Tam David West, on behalf of the university, we want to say how deeply appreciative we are to be associated with your person. We want to thank you and thank all of you for accepting the award of honorary doctorate degrees. Finally, Your Excellency, once again, while I thank you, let me thank the Vice-Chancellor of the university for his sheer capacity. And as you see, Nasarawa State University is very sensitive. You can see from the height of the Vice-Chancellor that he stands. It's an acknowledgement of height. Our Vice-Chancellor is almost 6 feet tall. And I'm happy that when he stands between both myself and His Excellency, the Governor, as you know, both of us are probably, we measure about the same height. But I want to say how grateful I am to the Vice-Chancellor and the Registrar, all the senior members of Council and the staff. I want to thank the member of ASU for their commitment, and I still continue to plead that we work much, much harder and put other interests aside, and for the sake of the generation that we are building, to position Nasarawa State University to achieve enviable results. To members of Council, I want to thank you for your cooperation and collaboration. Together, we believe that we shall achieve greater things for Nasarawa State University. Thank you very much. Long live the University of Nasarawa. Long live Nasarawa State. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Your Excellency, I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Muhammad Akaro Menoma, to address the convocation. The Vice-Chancellor, sir.
Your Excellency, the visitor to the university, Umaru Tanko Almakura, other visiting dignitaries here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am honored and privileged to join in welcoming you to Nasarawa State University as we mark the 5th combined convocation ceremonies convocating 7 sets of undergraduate and postgraduate students of our dear university. This ceremony marks the first convocation ceremony since my appointment as substantive Vice-Chancellor 2 years ago. Our inability to conduct this assembly speaks volume. Now that we are here, it shows the level of stability of the university. We shall henceforth make it an annual event as expected. Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, convocation is an important academic ceremony in the university system for award of bachelor's degree, diplomas, masters, doctor of philosophy, as well as conferment of honorary doctorate degrees to deserving illustrious personalities. It provides an opportunity to highlight the achievement of the graduates and gives stewardship report to stakeholders. This convocation is holding at a time the university prides itself in the community of Nigerian universities as the first choice state university in Nigeria among undergraduates and postgraduates. A soaring, innovative postgraduate programs, highly improved and sustained quality of teaching and learning, research and community services. Our university is renowned for academic stability, popularity, affordability, strong academic culture, visible physical facilities, eminent teaching faculty, and preferred destination for graduate studies. We have a niche for academic excellence and fast-growing profile among universities in Nigeria and beyond. I wish to present to you that this university has a mission to encourage and enable individuals to develop their full potentials by providing qualitative and stimulating learning environment encompassing a wide range of a dedicated and selfless service to the state, the nation, and world at large. This is predicated on the university's philosophical belief in constructive thinking, positive action, and freedom of conscience. In KEFI, we are committed to knowledge creation, equal opportunities, fairness to all, friendly environment, and integrity of processes. We are committed to KEFI. We also cherish a culture, commitment to academic integrity, unwavering discipline, lifelong learning, teamwork and team spirit, utmost good faith, respect for the rule of law, and exemplary conduct. Of the 45 approved undergraduate programs by National Universities Commission, 44 are fully accredited. And only one is on interim status. This gives us 100% accreditation status in this university. In addition, our programs have received professional accreditations from local and international professional organizations. We have 1,124 academic staff, 1,124 staff made up of 523 academic staff, 326 senior non-teaching staff, and 275 junior staff. The university has, among these academic staff, 129 of them on the professorial cadre. The university has a wide range of staff development programs. And in this staff development program, we have 71 of our staff that are on PhD training in the local universities, and 59 of them in foreign universities. And we have 58 staff that are currently running MSc program in Nigerian universities, and over 215 staff had attended conferences within the last 2 years, and 46 of them have attended foreign conferences. For non-teaching staff, 36 of them had attended local conferences, local workshops, and 13 of them have attended international conferences. In matters of infrastructural development, I'm sure we have seen for ourselves that the university is looking different from what we know it 3 years ago. There are a lot of projects and programs that have been developed and commissioned. You will notice also that when people are talking about saying the university might be a third-fund university, it is because the ones from state government are not clearly marked as, it's not as if it is a requirement by the state government that you must say this building was built by the state government. If not, within the last 2 years, the state government had invested over 8 billion naira in this university, and third fund had only invested 2 billion naira. So you cannot compare in terms of amount that is invested by state government with third fund. However, we are grateful to the state government, and we will still say that because our university is fast growing, we need greater interventions in this university. What are we here today for? The issue of graduates and students enrollment. You will find that 22,846 are being presented today for convocation for the bachelor's degrees, and 8,270 are presented for various higher degrees. But of the number that we are presenting today, there are 7 of them that make distinctive first class, and I want to mention their names. Vincent Harrison Sunday is the best graduating student for 2015-2016, and in 2014-2015, Ewuga Azunle from accounting made the best graduating student. In 2012-2013, again from accounting, OG Basi Maduka Oguchi made the best result with a first class. In 2011-2012, it is somebody, Yakubu Suleiman Omale from Agric, that made the best result with 4.92 as his CGPA. In 2010-2011, it was Peter Anza Shedrack in Natural and Applied Sciences that made the best first class with 4.82. In 2009-2010, it was also from Natural and Applied Science, this time around in geology, not in computer science, Adegoke Ido Abiodun that made first class with 4.72. In 2008-2009, it was Raphael Ojo Joseph in religious studies in the Faculty of Arts that made the best result with 4.66 at that time. You will find that I'm delighted to also point out that the candidate of agriculture, Yakubu Suleiman Omale, is the overall best student for these 7 states, that with 4.92 as CGPA. Using the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board's statistics 2016, the Nasarawa State University is rated as the first choice state university in Nigeria of the 39 state universities with 35,555 applications. The Senate of the university recently approved 2 additional undergraduate programs, 12 additional undergraduate programs which have received NUC's approval. So we will have 57 programs now that the university is running in 8 faculties, because an additional faculty was also approved, Faculty of Environmental Sciences. We have consistently held inaugural lectures with 13 already presented, 8 of which were presented within the last 2 years. Let me seize this opportunity to express gratitude to God for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve. I'm grateful to His Excellency Umaru Tanko Almakura, Governor of Nasarawa State, for approving my appointment as the Vice-Chancellor of Nasarawa State University. We have sustained appreciable staff welfare through His Excellency's intervention in settling staff entitlements and salary today. This university is foremost in staff welfare with outstanding and allowances for academic staff almost fully paid. I must acknowledge the founder of this university, distinguished Senator Abdullahi Adamu. I committed an offense in this ground about 8 years ago when I stated the very obvious that what he did in 2007 to Nasarawa State, I've just mentioned it as part of the things that I felt were important that distinguish him for him to earn our honorary degree. But now I can safely say that he has joined the group of the Sardaunas, the Azikwe, all of them, because he has established a university that is going to stay and stay and stay beyond all of us here. I must appreciate and acknowledge the Chairman of Council, Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Hassan Kuka, for guidance and exceptional support of the Council to the university management. Only this morning, one of the Council members was trying to say that he just immediately came to my defense, and it has always been the tradition. He has given us the desired protection to perform without unnecessary intervention. We have been able to get this far because of the quality of men and women in governing council and the Senate of this university. I want to specifically mention some few more individuals that have assisted this university with money. Dr. Salisu Mekaswa, who is supposed to be one of the graduates today, he has brought in equipments and money to ensure that the Faculty of Social Science is well landscaped. If you see all the landscaping in Faculty of Social Sciences, it was done by this individual. I must also acknowledge Dr. Ate, a former Deputy Controller of Customs, that has actually also assisted this university tremendously in terms of landscaping. I must also mention Dr. Hassan Liman, the only son produced by Nasarawa State. He has helped this university tremendously in areas of landscaping. So also Honorable Aliu Wadada, he has helped this university tremendously with cash in order to improve the environment. Let me thank all graduates that are here today and those that for good reasons, for good cause they are not here. But we still have expectations. Our expectations for you is that you should build an alumni and support the university, join the alumni and support the university. You must continue to learn because lifelong learning for self-development is very, very essential. Mentoring of younger ones and support for those that are coming behind is also very necessary. Accountability for every responsibility is also very essential. You must be good ambassadors of this university. Kindness is also what we require from you to the less privileged. Unity of purpose is also very important to us, that we charge you to seek for what unites us, not what actually puts us asunder. Respect for law and good citizenship. We also appreciate all that you've been doing, you have done in the past for this university. I will tell you, with Almakura, we can build a strong alumni. Our willingness to transform Nasarawa State University is unshaken. It requires all hands to be on deck. It requires stakeholders to exhibit a lot of understanding of the challenges of managing a diverse institution like ours. Universities are facing diverse challenges because they deal with stakeholders with diverse expectations. Yet, the resources are dwindling. The challenge of funding are more daunting today than ever, yet sources are slim. We need to create more access for admission, manage growing programs, sustain quality staff, and take care of staff welfare and the development needs of the university. The challenges in higher education are distinct and pervasive. University management is expected to effectively navigate several key realities and operate within a rapidly evolving higher education industry with a future difficult to predict. On our part, we are defining and achieving strategic direction for Nasarawa State University as a whole. We appeal to stakeholders to appreciate the rich resources available through interaction with the university community and grant us the needed support to take this university to enviable hearts among community of global universities. Finally, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I use this opportunity to congratulate the Chancellor of the university, His Royal Highness, Dr. Shehu Chindoya Musa III, for coming at this time to be the Chancellor of the university. It is going to add vigor to the kind of things we are doing. I must also use this opportunity to congratulate those that are going to receive our honorary degree today from Professor Adamu Beki, Professor Tamde Birwes, and Selkam Maina. We thank you most sincerely for joining us again to see how we can develop this university further. Thank you very much for listening.
Excellency, we are going to have a slight adjustment to our order of proceeding. And by the powers conferred on the visitor, and we do apology, we will slightly adjust our order of proceeding to now invite the visitor to address the convocation. The visitor, sir.
Good morning, Mom.
This is Agatha.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Honorable Silas Ali Agara, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors of Plateau State, the Deputy Governor of Ondo State, most distinguished Senator and the first Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, and the founder of this university, Dr. Abdullahi Adamu Sarkin Kefi, distinguished senators and honorable members of the National Assembly here present, the Honorable Minister, Niger Delta Ministry, the Right Honorable Speaker, Nasarawa State House of Assembly, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, my Lord, the Chief Judge, principal officers and members of the State Assembly, honorable commissioners and members of the State Executive Council, special advisors, the special advisor to the President on media, the Chancellor of this university and the Emir of Kefi, the Pro-Chancellor of this university and Chairman of Council, His Lordship, Bishop Kuka, the Vice-Chancellor and other visiting chancellors here present,
our very eminent honorary graduates, in the persons of Mr. Salka Maina, Professor Ademai Baiki, and Professor Tam David West, the Senate of the university, the management, the staff and students, graduates, relations, friends, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I feel honored and privileged to be part of the grand occasion of today, the 5th combined convocation ceremony of Nasarawa State University, KEFI. It is exciting that this convocation is coming after 8 years since the last convocation. I have great admiration for the emphasis this institution places on lifelong learning and development, positive engagement with the community, developing leadership skills, qualities that will positively impact not only in Nasarawa State alone, but the country at large. The graduating students, I urge you that this is your day, and I congratulate you on your achievement, and I'm sure you are looking forward to a bright and fulfilling future, irrespective of the gloom of the job market and other symptoms of anxiety in Nigeria today. You are fortunate that you are graduating from an institution that has prepared you exceptionally well. And as one very renowned writer has said, by name Seth Godin, outlined in his book, Stop Stealing Dreams. I would like to quote, "You are entering a new chapter in your life in an exciting world full of challenges, opportunities amplified by the web and the connection revolution. Human beings are no longer rewarded most for being compliant cogs. Instead, our chaotic world is open to work of passionate individuals intent on carving their paths. That is the new job of school. Not to hand a map to those willing to follow it, but to inculcate leadership and restlessness into a new generation." End of quote. This, I believe, is a scenario that is apt and a challenge to each and every one of you today. Nasarawa State has prepared you not just on the academic front, but to play your part in helping communities improve their quality of life. This is a quality that you must build on. Nigeria is littered with major environmental, ecological disasters, and security issues due to increasing number of our population living below poverty line. This is due to corruption, poor governance, and leadership. Nigeria needs your input, and you must, at every stage of your life, play your part in turning this unacceptable situation for the sake of our future generation. Nigeria is endowed with natural potentials and great human resources. We have no reason to fail. As these students are unleashed, so to speak, on society, it is in the womb of time how and what the products of this institution will turn out to be. It is my fervent hope and prayers that they will turn out to be of the highest quality, such that the society and the graduates themselves would have done a great deal and not shortchange themselves or the society. This brings me to the pertinent question of the university and its place in society. To be sure, universities emerged as an offshoot of the educational arm of religious institutions, but were basically academies for providing universal education and studying the universe and interpreting it. Universities have set the pace for society and responded to challenges within society. Indeed, universities are saddled with providing high-level manpower, ideas, solutions for government, arts and entertainment, and indeed, industrial society. From a single university in Nigeria in 1948, there are now more than 100 universities, both government and private, mostly offering generalist courses with few specializing in agriculture and technology. With the army of those educated abroad, there are hardly any jobs or enough jobs for the graduates. So what do we do? It raises the question, what is or what should be the role of the university in our society, given this very serious challenge? There are basically four main objectives for a university, namely instruction in skills, the promotion of the general powers of the mind, so as to produce not mere specialists, but rather cultivated men and women to maintain research in balance with teaching, since teaching should not be separated from advancement of learning and the search for truth, and to transmit a common culture and common standard of citizenship. From this, it is apparent that universities are not just institutions for awarding degrees, just to have collar-bar jobs, but a very central institution of control in our society. Universities are supposed to be in the forefront of any social change, especially with the power of research, being focused on areas that will promote human development and solve existing problems. Research is not just for promotion of lecturers, but its findings are part of the society's knowledge base, which is transmitted to students and industries. So then, a university must be an institution for the people. It must be a center for knowledge and problem solving for our society. Indeed, a pragmatic center for problem solving and societal growth, which ultimately determines the viability of our future. This, I believe, is the challenge all universities in the country must face. Part of our problem is that our society is not knowledge-driven. We have problems with finding jobs for the young people. In most of our states, the government is still the major employer and accounts for about 80% of those in the formal sector. We have problem with agriculture since we cannot feed our teeming population. Our agriculture is still largely primitive. Such things as improved seedlings, high-yielding, disease-resistant, early maturing seeds, modern farming implements, and methods and farm financing are still neither available nor affordable to most of our farmers. We have problem with the economy so that it is difficult to identify trends and predict directions of the economy. This is why it has been difficult to get serious players to jump into the Nigerian economy. Not with the policy somersault that happen with the emergence of every new government. These problems have persisted and are burgeoning because the universities are largely out of sync with the society. In plain terms, we are not being ruled by ideas. That is why we must be practical and at the same time pragmatic. This will surely reverse the trend from just subsistence farming to profitable and lucrative venture, from a makeshift economy to a reliable and dependable and also predictable economy. That is why in Nasarawa State today, we are interfacing with all our tertiary institutions, particularly the Nasarawa State University, for value addition. Increasingly, our universities continue to issue certificates to graduates who are barely literate. If we take literacy literally to be the ability to read and write, the education is bland and not tied to the need of the society. Education must be woven into life with a common thread running through life and the society. This is how universities can be relevant. Universities in Nigeria today are themselves as troubled as the society itself. But a university is supposed to be a center of excellence that stands above the society, passes judgment on it, and ultimately impart excellence on it. In our case in this country, I'm sorry to say, most universities can hardly provide municipal services for themselves. Such things like safe water, electricity, security, and waste disposal are still huge challenges for a lot of our universities. Instead of spending billions on diesel to power generators, why can't the universities devote themselves to research in alternative and cheap sources of power for their campuses, even for only street lighting and ordinary lighting points? It would be very impressive if I come as a visitor to any university and I'm told that the Department of Physics and Electronics have provided in-house arrangement for modular devices that can provide simple, ordinary 1.5 lighting in the streets or in the classrooms. This, I believe, is a challenge not only in Nasarawa State University, but all our universities. We must be practical and we must be pragmatic. We must solve our problem with the knowledge, research, and exposure that we have. It is only at that point in time that university education will become worthwhile and practicable. With all the physics and the electrical and electronics department, why must the universities be part of the diesel guzzling society, which will add emission and a lot of things that are anti-environment? Universities engage contractors for building roads and are largely part of the contract-driven economy. Why are there civil engineering departments and ancillary departments not involved in research and construction of roads and buildings at a fraction of today's cost? If the universities are not in these centers of excellence, how can they impact excellence on the society? In Hausa we say, idan kura tana da maganin zawo, to ta yi makanta. I believe every kind of knowledge must be made functional. I challenge all Nigerian universities to ensure that all the sciences and practical subjects that could be deployed to solve our problems are brought to bear so that we will be able to see and appreciate the value of these centers of excellence in our society. That is the whole idea behind education being pragmatic and worthwhile. To address the issue of isolated, disconnected, pseudo-citizen and youth employment in Nasarawa State, my government has been investing massively in the areas of research and technological innovation in other sectors that will kickstart an economic transformation in the state. Already concerted efforts towards alleviating the problems faced by farmers in the state have reached advanced stage. Recently, the Honorable Commissioner of Agri led a delegation from the state to Pakistan, Republic of Pakistan, to explore ways of improving farming activities in the state through collaboration and exchange program with the University of University of Agriculture Faisalabad in Pakistan to better the laws of our farmers in the state. This same arrangement is also to have new seedlings from Pakistan that have been procured. And I've already directed the Honorable Commissioner to start experimenting on the possibility of the state becoming not only a major producer of rice in the country, but also to specialize in the production of basmati rice as part of our efforts to add value and specialize, not just having rice like every other state would have. Let's have something different to think about. In order to improve our farming techniques in terms of equipment and seedlings, my government is proposing the establishment of the Institute of Agriculture in Lafia to be saddled with the responsibility of research. This will go a long way, not only in improving the quantity, but also the quality of agricultural produce in the state. This reminds me, and I would like to make a very quick response to the well-intentioned comments by the Pro-Chancellor with regard to land acquisition for the Department of Agriculture. I think maybe he has not been briefed in recent weeks, but I must say it used to be the problem, but in the past 3 weeks we have paid completely the compensation and all charges thereto for the total of 115 hectares that is deployed for the Department of Agriculture, which I believe very soon will transform into the Institute of Agriculture to have a more practical and pragmatic approach to agricultural learning. In order to improve this will go a long way, not only improving the quantity but the quality of our agricultural produce. It is also in order to boost agricultural production in the state. Government recently procured 4 units of fertilizer blending machines for the sole purpose of producing fertilizers at subsidized rate for local farmers. This is in addition to the contract with government that the government has signed with a tractor manufacturing company to establish a plant in the state for assembling and maintenance of tractors. The company from China will soon be in Nasarawa state. And you will soon realize that Nasarawa state will be one-stop center for agricultural mechanization and servicing. The Nasarawa state government is providing the enabling environment for agricultural business to thrive. I'm happy to say we have the Olam Farms, which is a Singaporean company that is one of the largest rice producers in Africa, cultivating about 10,000 hectares of rice in Nasarawa state. And recently, Dangote conglomerate has concluded plans to invest 200 billion naira for the establishment of sugar plantation refinery in Nasarawa state. Over 60,000 hectares have already been acquired, and work has already reached advanced stage to have the second largest sugar refinery in Africa. This will go a long way in addressing the problem of youth unemployment in the state. I urge the graduates to take advantage of these opportunities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, given the large deposit of coking coal in Nasarawa state, we shall soon embark on its prospection through collaboration with HIPEC, which is one of the largest power generating company in China, for power generation that will support the national power needs. The university, I believe, will play a vital role, and I am inviting the Department of Solid Mineral to be ready and handy for collaboration and partnership with this company very soon. Administration and governance are still serious challenges in our ivory tower. On a regular basis, students go on rampage and lecturers go on strike over matters that astute administrators and appreciative stakeholders could have taken care of. Many do not understand basic economics of admitting only the number of students that existing facilities and resources can support. In most cases, they would have overstretched existing facilities before seeking to expand them. And after severe crisis would have brewed from this indiscretion. I would like to admonish all universities to be wary of the facilities available that should correlate with the number of students you employ. You will be able to have a seamless operation, administration, academic activities when the students are less stressed. I believe the stakeholders also should be able to appreciate the capacity and ability of the university to admit. I know a lot of vice-chancellors, a lot of lecturers, a lot of people that have anything to do with the universities are under serious pressures. Some very unrealistic on trying to get the worst of people into the university, even if the university should close the next day. I believe we should use a lot of discretion and initiative to streamline and arrest this kind of situation. I urge the university administrators not to succumb to pressures to admit more students than the facilities could support in order to ensure serenity, decorum, and the contentment of our university. Most of our universities can still not grapple with the challenge of finance. The only straitjacket approach they have is charging students sometimes cutthroat fees and going cap in hand to the proprietors for subvention. But you see, in other countries, for instance, the United States, for example, university presidents are appointed on their capability and ability to raise funds and administer effectively through consultancy and entrepreneurial activities. I think we have something to learn from this. It is for this reason that I will support the National Universities Commission and the National Policy on Education on emphasizing on entrepreneurial education and consultancy services. I will be ready to support this university to expand the scope of the activities of consultancy services and entrepreneurial activities. This, I believe, will augment the little resources that the university is allocated. It will get to a point where the government cannot but just stick to the level of amount given to the university because there are other contending issues and challenges that the state has to contend with. So I feel the university should start thinking out of the box to find ways and means of getting resources to augment the little they get from the government. I'm still not satisfied that the university is in the shape it should be. The reality, however, is that with the financial position of the state, amidst the competing demands, hardly can we fulfill our dreams of the ideal university. When we look at a university really, we should be making global comparison and should position Nasarawa State to compete globally. This will require a challenge of paradigm in terms of its structure, operations, philosophy, funding, and even ownership. At this point, I must commend the University Council and the management for being highly initiative and highly ingenious in trying to ensure that this university succeeds in the face of dwindling resources. I was amazed when I went on a tour of the structures in the university, and having seen the efforts of the management and council, I know we have the right people in this institution. I want to give you a pat on the back that forget the fact that you come to me with a cup in hand asking for additional funds. I will not be able to give you if I know that the amount in my coffers will not be able to handle certain vital responsibilities. you must start thinking of how to fine-tune and take this initiative of yours to the highest level. I believe very soon Nasarawa State will be recorded as one of the best universities in Nigeria. Let me once again congratulate this university on its 5th combined convocation, which in one fell swoop has more than 30,000 students. This is something I call legendary. I commend you for having the time and the patience to package this convocation that has not seen the light of the day for over 8 years. My prayers is that your expectations, that's for the graduates, the society will be able to achieve sooner than later. I also would like to congratulate these dignitaries or distinguished Nigerians who have been considered for the award of honorary degrees of this university today by virtue of their track record, groundbreaking accomplishment in life and contributions to society. No doubt, the trio of Venerable Sanction Minor, Professor Adamu Baiki, and Professor Tam Davis West deserve this award, and I congratulate them. Finally, I would like to congratulate the Chancellor, who has been installed today, and I wish him a very successful leadership of this university. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you for your attention, and I assure you that Nasarawa State will always be in support of this university for the betterment of our society. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that was the speech of His Excellency, the visitor to Nasarawa State University, KEFI. I now have the honor and privilege to proceed with the order of proceeding. Excellency, Chancellor, sir, the Nasarawa State University, on the recommendation of Council, of Senate, and approval of Council, has found Professor Adamu David Beki worthy to be conferred with honorary doctorate degree honoris causa of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. I now call on the orator to present the honorary graduate, the orator, sir.
Mr. Chancellor, I hereby invite Professor David Adamu Beki to the podium. Your Excellency, the Chancellor, I present to you the citation of Professor David Adamu Beki, pioneer Vice-Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, life is a puzzle. The impossibility of the horse going through the eye of the needle has been mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. In the Christian Holy Book, Prophet Ezekiel could not answer the divine interrogation on whether dry bones in the valley of the dead shall live again. His answer was simply, Lord, thou knowest. In this same manner, how does a neophyte like me describe the Colossus, Professor David Adamu Beki? It is virtually an impossibility. Yet the task before me is to summarize the lifetime of a man that has carved a niche for himself in society and every platform of service to humanity. As a distinguished educationist, an honest, humble, God-fearing statesman, and leader of men. The verdict will be yours, ladies and gentlemen, by the time I am through with the summary of this compendium. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, those who know him, know him. But for those who do not know him, he is that man who is the visionary, founder, and the first, whom the visionary, founder, and the first visitor, His Excellency and the distinguished Senator, Dr. Abdullahi Adamu, painstakingly searched for and saddled with the responsibility of setting up Nasarawa State University 15 years ago. The life and success story of this true and practical embodiment of knowledge and scholarship began on the 2nd October 1931, when he was born in the ancient Zaria city, Nigeria. He started his early education at the Holy Trinity School, Kano, between 1940 and 1943, from where he proceeded to the Holy Trinity School, Lokoja, in 1994, and later joined the CMS Middle School, Wisasa, Zaria, in 1946. He graduated in 1948. Hard work and destiny catapulted him to different institutions across the world, where he obtained different academic and professional trainings and certificates. Thus, he ascended from the valley of educational attainment of grade 3 teacher to the peak of Doctor of Education and eventually a professor. Amongst the schools he attended were the Nigerian College of Arts, Science and Technology Zaria, which later became Ahmadu Bello University. He also attended the Indiana University, Bloomington, United States. In all, Professor Adamu Beki invested a total of 29 years in the pursuit of his education, from the cradle of primary school to PhD. It has been a landmark achievement indeed. So far, Professor Adamu Beki has received 2 similar honorary doctorate degrees from the University of Benin and the National University of Lesotho, where he has served both at different times in the capacity of Vice-Chancellor. For want of time, it should suffice for you to know that Professor Adamu Beki is called by his friends and colleagues as Mr. First, because he was the first USAID-sponsored scholar for development in Nigeria between 1962 and 1964. He was the first Nigerian to attain the position of dean in a faculty of education. He was the first northerner to be appointed as vice-chancellor in a southern university, the University of Benin. He was the first Nigerian to be appointed to serve as vice-chancellor in another African university, the National University of Lesotho. He was the first to be appointed as consultant director, Institute of Education, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. This was between 1999 and 2001. He was the first vice-chancellor of our own university. I must state this. I must emphasize this. We are very pleased to have him as our pioneer vice-chancellor between 2002 and 2009. Note that before now, he had led the Nasarawa State University KEFI Implementation Committee as chairman between 2000 and 2001. Professor Adamu Beki is a successful university administrator. At the Lesotho University, he was a trailblazer in many areas. At the Nasarawa State University, permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to state a few of his achievements. He established 7 academic faculties in Nasarawa State University. We have just heard that over the years, in 15 years, the 8th faculty has just been born. He established about 46 degree awarding programs in this university. The student population rose from 10,000 as at December. It rose to over 10,000 from 3,000 as at December 2009 when he left office. He ensured that at least 50% of the courses offered in the university were accredited by the National University Commission. He established a thriving postgraduate school with courses leading up to the doctorate degree. He established a School of Preliminary Studies. He created viable service units, such as the health services, works and maintenance, and the student affairs. He established a functional information technology center. He introduced internet services to the university's library operations. I can go on and on and on and on. In rounding up, Professor Adamu Beki is a man in the community, availing himself to individuals, groups, and agencies that require his services and help with love and equanimity. The retinue of organizations he has used as platforms to serve humanity are endless and are cross-cutting. For instance, he has been very active in the synod of the Anglican Church. He has been involved in the urban development management program of the Kano State government. He has provided advisory services to educational departments and agencies of government, such as JAM, the Nigerian Book Council, and the Nigerian Education Resource Council, among others. He is a one-time chairman of the Committee of Vice-Chancellors in Nigeria and currently serves on the governing boards of many national and international foundations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not wonder that while many persons of his age are derided for senile nuisance and mischief, the cerebral and spiritually alert octogenarian is both celebrated and acknowledged. He is also highly sought. Just recently, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed him as chairman of the Teachers Registration Council. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this man a big round of applause. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, behold, Professor Adamu Beki, CON, the legend, the academic icon, astute university administrator, community leader, elder statesman, multiple honorary doctorate degree award recipient, pioneer Vice-Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. I present him proudly for the prestigious award of Nasarawa State University's Doctor of Letters. Thank you.
By the power conferred on me as the Chancellor and on the authority of the Senate and Council, I confer on you the degree of Doctor of Letters, Honorary Scholar of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. Congratulations.
Your Excellency, Chancellor Sir, the Nasarawa State University, on recommendation of Council or Senate, and with the approval of Council, has found Venerable Salter Minor, OFR, worthy to be conferred with honorary doctorate degree honoris causa of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. I call on the orator to present the honorary graduate. The orator, sir.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on the already well-established official procedure to present to you one of the recipients this afternoon, Venerable South Minor, OFR. He is a man who had paid his due and is so recognized. He is a man that it will be difficult to summarize on the pages of the paper given the time we have on our hands. But by the time we are through with the little we can say of him, you will realize that the heights of success by great men, reached and kept, were not by sudden flights, but they, while others slept, kept toiling up throughout the night. And that is what has brought him to where he is today. The seed of greatness began to sprout in Venerable South Minor from 1946 to 1949 when he attended Gindri Middle School. This was further watered by the ambience of the Gindri Training College from 1953 to 1955. From then on, it became clear to both classmates and teachers that Lantan had given the world an extraordinary mind and a personality, an epitome of truth, honor, compassion in the person of Venerable South Minor. Accordingly, it was this home and people that he harvested the first seed of the values, because as a trained teacher, qualified from Gindri, he headed back to Lantan for a payback as a teacher at the Sudan United Missions Primary School, where he rose to the position of school manager. Now, the imprint of his effort are many, ranging from building schools, community development, and encouraging all-round development in the community. But after a short stay, he left. He felt that he had a need to contribute to the larger society. And so he had, in 1967, served as the first commissioner for education in the then Benue Plateau State. In his capacity, he brought to the table tremendous values to the administration. Perhaps the most outstanding is the conceptualization of the Institute for African Studies, which eventually evolved into the University of Ibadan Jos campus and later the University of Jos. A round of applause for him for the achievement. The contribution of Venerable South Minor to the development of education among his people can hardly be measured on the pages of paper. But the imprint of his efforts are many. When he joined the civil service, he had no difficulty bringing up impressive record of public service. He proved himself as a rare gem, then in Benue State, where he was at the forefront of providing quality knowledge and best practices. By 1970, he became the secretary to the military government of Benue Plateau then, led by General Gomwok, a personal friend and schoolmate while in Gindry College. He played tremendous roles in the development of the state. He is indeed a man of many parts, and as I told you earlier, it is difficult to summarize such a man. He had contributed a lot to the development of his people and Nigeria at large. It is this ardent servant of humble means, a diligent and committed retired public servant, an organizer who feels at home putting vital strings between the scenes in most of life's endeavor, a leader and strong believer in harmony, a reverend gentleman, a devout builder of the church and the nation, and indeed a father par excellence that I present to you for an award. Thank you.
By the power conferred on me as the Chancellor and on the authority of the Senate and Council, I confer on you the degree of Doctors of Law, Honorary Consul of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. Congratulations.
NTA live. You go. Amin Shehu Usman.
Your Excellencies, Chancellor, sir, the Nasarawa State University, on the recommendation of Senate and with the approval of Council, has found Professor Tom David West worthy to be conferred with Honorary Doctorate Degree Honoris Causa of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. I call upon the orator to present the honorary graduate. The orator, sir.
The citation of Professor Tamunoemi Sokari David West. I hereby invite you to the podium, sir.
Those people that are standing there, that are blocking us, they are further together.
Your Excellencies, the Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this academic icon standing before you is Professor Tam David West. He is one of the few intellectuals in this country today whose legendary and exemplary fearlessness is epitomized by speaking the truth and damning the consequences. This he has done in the favor of the Nigerian nation and its voiceless, downtrodden masses. His penchant for excellence approximates the utopia. How else can we describe the period when he was former Minister of Petroleum and energy. Power outage was not only unheard of, but simply forbidden. He had ideas, he had the zeal to serve his country, such that goal setting was an obligation, not an option. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man whose fanatical patriotism makes it impossible for his fellow citizens to acknowledge that he is a Nigerian. He is a knowledgeable trailblazer, an academic of countless accolades. Our honorable awardee, whose historical page was opened on the 26th of August, 1936, attended the University of Ibadan, Michigan State University, Yale University, and McGill University in Canada, where he obtained 2 Bachelors of Science degrees, then a master's degree and PhD degrees. He got his PhD degree in 1966. He obtained all of these degrees within the period of 8 years. Please, let's give him a big round of applause. Professor Tam David West is a pathologist of international repute and has won several scholarships, prizes, honors, and distinctions. He is a recipient of 2 federal government scholarships, Yale University Scholarship, and the WHO Scholarship. He has won not less than 5 international research fellowships in his lifetime. He's a former fellow, Nigerian Academy of Science, and true to character, he resigned on ethical grounds. He is, however, a current fellow of the New York Academy of Sciences. He was never a vice-chancellor at the University of Ibadan, but his contributions to the growth of the university are inestimable. All along, he has used his official role as consultant virologist at the University of Ibadan to attract research grants and recognition for cutting-edge research in virology. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it will interest you also to know that Professor Tam David West is a Fulbright scholar. He has made very many wonderful discoveries as a scientist. I will mention just 2. He developed a new cell system from mouse embryos between 1969 and 1970. Over 14,000 tubes have been produced ever since in Nigerian laboratories. The cell system is a major reference point in virologic research worldwide. In 1971, Professor Tam David West developed a new relatively inexpensive and quick system called mouse embryo cell culture for the isolation and identification of what is called chikungunya virus from clinical specimen. And we can go on and on and on and on. In summary, Professor Tam David West is an avid believer in social justice. He believes that corruption thrives where justice fails. He believes that every human being is equal before God and before the law. He is a patriot par excellence, one who has developed and joined several platforms to express his love for this country called Nigeria. For instance, he's a fellow of the National Association for the Survival of the Constitution of Nigeria, NASCON. He is the national patron, Anti-Bribery, Corruption, and Crime Council of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and has played several significant leadership and citizenship development roles for our youth all over the country. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here is the legend before you, a noble patriot, a medical expert, a world-renowned virologist, social critic, erudite scholar, and elder statesman, who is no doubt qualified today to receive the award of the Honorary Doctor of Science degree from Nasarawa State University. Thank you.
By the power conferred on me as Chancellor and on the authority of the Senate and Council, I confer on you the degree of Doctor of Science, Honorary Causa of Nasarawa State University, Kefi. Congratulations.
It took 15 years to move from a few blocks of buildings on the hills of Kefi
for another live broadcast. This is the network service of the NTA. We'll be joining our outside broadcast crew for another live broadcast.